Right, I've got an unboxing here, as it says on the title. This is a Sudotack arm boom microphone. You paid £75, there it is on the screen. RRP 75, paid 50 on Amazon UK August 2023. And it's a reasonably good microphone. I did check some of the reviews and it got quite high reviews. I think 70% got 5 stars on it, and most of the reviews were positive. So I thought, well, I want to get away from using a headset, so it seemed like a reasonable microphone. So inside is the instruction manual. There it is. The muffler thing, the foam thing. And then I think this is the click pop filter thing, which clips onto the main arm of the microphone. Don't know if I'll be using that though, to be honest. I'm actually recording this audio on this very microphone in post, so this is what it sounds like. So there's the arm and the dampener thing that the microphone sits in, the clamp, whole microphone itself, and the USB cable. Let's pull that out. This is the arm. The USB cable. Dampener thing, that's where the microphone actually sits on that. And there's a kind of screw in thing on that. Plastic though, but it is a fairly budget microphone. The clamp thing, that's metal, that's all metal. The microphone itself with the USB connector underneath. Kind of thing you get on a printer, the USB connector. And that's made out of metal as well. I'll put them on the table and then I will assemble it with all the constituent parts on camera, which will be nice. So this is the assembly of the arm. Basically one end is where the microphone goes, that's the chrome end, and the other end goes into the clamp which holds onto the desk. So I pulled that out. When I did this I didn't know what I was doing, so I was like a little tiny bit unsure. And that's the other end, that's the end where the clamp goes on. It slides on, there's like a plastic sleeve inside, and then that screw thing there tightens it. But if you want to rotate it, you have to undo that. If you want to rotate the arm and slightly loosen it, it doesn't rotate unless you actually loosen the screw. And that's the clamp part that goes on the desk. This is the end the microphone goes on, and this bit basically goes, you have to rotate it around. It's like a brass fastening thing, and there's a thread on that. I slightly struggled with this a little bit, I wasn't sure how to get it on. You have to rotate it, and then I did edit about 30 seconds of me just rotating it, and you have to basically push it down a little bit on top and then rotate it, and then there's like a little thing to tighten it, which allows the dampener to be rotated, and then you've got the main actual like pivot. You've got the pivot and then you've got the actual dampener for the microphone. There's like two controls effectively. Okay, so that's the arm itself. Pretty much that's it effectively. So I changed camera position and I wanted to show me installing it. Basically what I did here was put it at the top, because the way I've got my setup is that I haven't got a whole lot of space, so I wasn't sure about having a boom microphone. I could have had a desk, like one on a little tripod, but that I haven't got enough space for that. So this just about fits, and I've got 2 monitors, so I've got limited space. Also have to be careful my chair doesn't knock it over or catch it, because I've got a big high-backed chair as well, swivel chair. So I'm just going to put the microphone into that dampener thing. it basically just squeezes in. You've got to slightly kind of angle it in slightly, and then it slightly pushes those plastic round parts apart, and then it grips the bottom with the name, the logo facing towards you. That because it's Cartoid, it's basically facing towards you. Then this, I did put this on, but I took it off later on because I didn't really need it. It does fit on there okay, but for me, I haven't got the space. It does seem to be quite heavy, so it's probably okay if you don't ever really move it around too much, but it just clips onto there. But I was worried about that bending the tubular steel a little bit, because it is quite a heavy, well, when I was putting it on anyway. But otherwise it seemed like it was okay, but I don't have the space for that necessarily. It blocks the screen. But if you wanted to use that, it's not too much of a problem. It's just fairly solid metal. And it looks okay, but I don't have the space because I can't see the monitors properly. You have to be a bit careful you don't twist the actual boom arm with that, because you wouldn't want to slightly deform that. It is solid, so I was just being a bit careful with that. But I don't really need that, so I'm not really bothered about it because it is quite big. I repositioned the camera underneath. This uses the same kind of USB cable a printer uses, so one end's got that kind of funny shape on it. I didn't get it in first time. Because more expensive ones have a phantom power supply unit, which is a different thing altogether, but you need an amplifier external to it. That is a USB 2, standard USB 2, or USB A type connector, I think that is. Here's the USB connector. First test. See what Windows makes of it. Here it is. I might not keep that on. This might not need that. It's quite big and kind of gets in the way, so I don't know if I'll need that, because it's got a, not a dead cat, but one of these things to go on the end of it if I really need it, so I don't know. I'm going to test it with the screen recording, so I'll switch to the screen recording with the microphone, and you'll be hearing it as I'm hearing it live for the first time. I just listened to it and it sounded like it was clipping out, so I'm not sure. It says in the manual I have to be 100% with that, and it must be set as default communications device, so I don't know where that is. 100%. I don't know if that's what it is. There it is. 1, 2. So I'm quite close to it there. Set default, it says it is. Set default. It says configure. No. Properties. I'm going to just usually use it on Audacity. Usually. Can I see what that sounds like? Okay, I've reviewed that footage and it sounds okay. I think I had the setting on Radeon being maximum and it kind of clips it out. I can take it higher. I don't know if that does it live or not. Stick it about 60. I don't know if that's gone up or down. I'm going to look at Audacity. This won't change anything. I've just slightly moved the microphone. And then, will it see that one? Hello, yesterday, today, tomorrow. Well, there it is. And I'm about, I could get a tape measure out. Don't measure how far I am from it. So if I'm about here, it's about 30 centimetres. And here's like 40. So we've got 40, 30, 20, 10. I'm right up close to it there. And if I'm about here, I'm talking sort of around about more or less where I'd want to be. So I'll probably get in the recording from also, I'm recording at the same time onto screen recorder, which I can turn that off, so I'll see how this sounds. So that's basically a basic test, just see how loud it is. And if I touch it, that's me touching it. I'm going to touch the arm, touch the dampening, picks that out, doesn't it? It's my CD-ROM. If it was gone quiet, I got Tomb Raider thing in the drive. I just knocked it in my hand. I have to get this cable kind of somehow tied to that. If I don't touch it, it's fine. Can it pick up the background sound? That's quite a bit. My arm's outstretched about a metre away. I don't think it's stereo from mono. That's about 2 meters away. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It does seem to be working quite well. Yeah, so if I'm within about a foot of it, that's about normal. I used to have to wear a headset, and that was quite close. So yeah, that's just a basic test of the Sudotack condenser microphone. And what the model number is. ST-800. Said that, got the manual. So yeah, that's the ST-800 Sudotack basic test for the microphone. So thank you for watching, and I'll be back in another video. Till then, bye.